Hey guys, I'm here breaking down and recapping what happened at UFC Fight Night Paris Imavov versus Boralho. Starting off with the early prelim opener of Shanna Bannon versus Sam Hughes. This was a kind of okay fight for a little bit. It's more Sam Hughes just fraud checking another damn near undefeated prospect again. She just does this. Her record looks disgusting, but she just finds a way to win because she's actually not that bad. And Shauna Bannon is terrible. Sam Hughes just ragdolls her and subs her in round two. Next up on the card, we have Renat Fakhretdinov versus Andreas Gustafsson. Dog, Renat Fakhretdinov was getting pressured. Andreas Gustafsson was having his way. And then Renat Fakhretdinov remembered, oh yeah, I can fight. Started moving forward. And like the first solid shot he landed on Andreas Gustafsson put him on death's doorstep. And he just beats the dog shit out of him and ends up winning that fight by a brutal first round KO. Next up, we have Robert Brycek versus Brad Tavares. This was a really fun fight. Robert Brycek emptied the gas tank trying to kill Brad Tavares in round one. Tavares somehow survived it and went on to round two. Tavares won round two clearly. It looked like Robert Brycek completely gassed out. And then like halfway through round three, he just re-got the energy to keep going and started swinging for the fences. Put Brad Tavares out. He was protesting with the ref. Literally, like, you could hear him on the official ESPN Plus stream going, "I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. You shouldn't have stopped the fight." But I totally understand why the fight was stopped from the referee's point of view. You are two unranked contenders. There's no real stakes on the line. There's no need for you to have to go through all of that after we just saw what you went through in round one, where the fight could have legitimately been stopped. So I applaud the rest for that stoppage. I think it was a very, very good one. And in the words of Robert Brycek, don't follow your dreams, give up. Next up, we have Sam Patterson versus Trey Waters. Sam Patterson was just too powerful for Trey Waters. Trey Waters tries that little hands down stuff, gets cracked, and just never recovers. You can't keep that against somebody with that amount of power. There was so much of nothing happened in this fight. They were fainting at range, touching. Trey Waters was kind of up on the significant strikes. And then Sam Patterson just kind of sleeps him. Granted, Trey Waters didn't go down. But again, two unranked contenders, nothing on the line. Beautiful stoppage. Beautiful stoppage. Sam Patterson now 4-1 in the UFC, 4-fight win streak, all by first round finish. He called out Neil Magny, and I like that. Give him Neil Magny, co-main event of a fight night towards the end of the year. I like that. I like that. Next up on the card, we had Cal Fernandez versus Harry Hardwick. The leg kicks of Fernandez was just way too much for Harry Hardwick. Hardwick tried. Hardwick's a tough dude. He tried. But Fernandez just broke his legs in half. It was bad. Completely out leg kicked him and had him done and won by leg kick KO in 3 minutes in a round one. It was very brutal to watch. Very brutal to watch. Next up on the card, we had Ante Delija versus Marcin Tabora. I told you this was not going to be a close fight. Ante Delija went out there and blasted Marcin Tabora into another stratosphere. His speed and power at heavyweight is genuinely terrifying. Thank God he's good friends with Tom Aspinall, or there might be a little bit of oh God, what does this dude do? I think you can give him. Let's not give him Pavlovich. Actually, Pavlovich might be the fight, yeah, because everyone else is fighting. Yeah, you might have to give him Pavlovich, because he's gonna be like number 6, maybe number 5. Yeah, no, might have to give him Pavlovich, or make him fight another top 10 guy like a Sergey Spivak. I think Sergey Spivak is the perfect next step, but who knows? They might just send him to the moon because Tom Aspinall has nobody to fight. Next up, headlining the prelims, we have Umar Sai versus Brenson Ribeiro. Brenson Ribeiro had some nice grappling moments in this fight. He was able to get back to his guard a few times. Umar Sy does not care, just still ragdolled him and then KO'd him a ground and pound. Brenton Ribeiro didn't really throw much. I think he tried to throw up a triangle or two. Tried to go for an armbar or two. Definitely went for a Kimura once or twice. Didn't matter. He went for submission over position. Umar Sy is like a controlled kind of guy. He got to his positions. He did what he did. And then when he realized Brenton Ribeiro was gassed, not being able to get back up, he rained down ground and pound and stopped Brenton Ribeiro early. Next up, opening up the main card, we had William Gomez versus Robert Rachula. Man, William Gomez put the beaters on him. 30-27 across the board. I see some people trying to give Robert round 2. He didn't do enough in round 2 to get that round. It was a fun, competitive scrap, but William Gomez is way better than Robert, and it was so evident in this fight that Robert was just a few steps behind. Robert's a UFC level dude, but he's not like the cream of the crop. William Gomez is almost ranked level, and it showed. I think Robert would actually do very well in a fight against like Christian Rodriguez, someone like that. But against William Gomez, who should like legitimately be ranked, no. Next up, we have Axel Sola versus Reese McKee, and my God, Axel Sola belongs here. Axel Sola had that karate stance, moving in and out, landing on Reese McKee basically whenever he felt like. And Reese McKee's tough to be able to stay in there for as long as he did. I mean, we all know Reese McKee's tough, and he has like a lot of scar tissue, gets very bloody, and never gives up, has the power. Dog, Axel Sola hit him with like flush head kicks, multiple flush head kicks, lunging in overhand rights, was wobbling him everywhere, but he'd recover and keep going after Axel Sola. The finish happened in round 3. Axel Sola leaps in with an uppercut to the body, and it folded Reese McKee in half. And then Axel Sola follows up a ground and pound. Now, Reese McKee wasn't fully out. He was starting to recover, but from the rest point of view, it does look like Axel Sola jumped in, landed something crazy. Reese McKee folded over, and then just kind of stopped moving. So I understand the stoppage. Kind of sucks for Reese McKee, but it was really fun to watch. It was a very fun fight. Next up, we have Mason Jones versus Balaji Oki, and this was literally just a crafty veteran performance. Mason Jones realized Balaji Oki was going to go out there fighting like Melvin Manhoof and weathered the early storm. He almost got put out cold, genuinely. Oki landed, I think, a right hook, and it spun Mason Jones completely around, had him down, but Oki's too aggressive, and he gassed himself out going for ground and pound that just wasn't landing. Mason Jones survived it, started to do really well at the end of round 1, and then in the round 2, he was toyed with him. Like, by the end of round, like, after the first 2.5 minutes of this fight, we knew that, like, Oki has nothing left. Like, Mason Jones dropped him, walked him down, landed some good ground and pound, let him back up, was beating him up on the feet pretty bad at the end of round 1. And then in round 2, he starts beating him up on the feet, and Oki just panic shoots a takedown. Mason Jones reverses it. Throws him, like, judo throws him. But it felt like he was grabbing a hold of a tiny child and threw him across the octagon. Lands on top of him, starts dropping elbows right on his face. I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be over. But then he starts going for submissions because he wanted to submit him. Then he just says, nah, I'm just going to get a ground and pound TKO, and then just KOs him ground and pound. It was amazing to watch. Crazy war. Definitely one of the best fights of the year. Definitely one of the best fight in this card. Definitely one of the best fights of the year. Next up, we have Modestas Bukauskas versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig retires, unfortunately. I mean, it's great time to retire, But like, Bukowskis did not look that good in this fight. I'm gonna be honest. Like, yeah, he looked way more athletic and in shape than we've ever seen him, and he was going forward, throwing some things. But Bukowskis is terrible when he's moving forward. But when he's able to like counter you and then push forward off that, he looks really good. But there's a moment he has Paul Craig pressed against the cage, landing little nothing strikes. Paul Craig jumps guard. Like, he jumps and pulls guard. And then Modestus Bukowskis just goes, okay, I'm just going to beat you up from here. Starts landing ground and pound, but it's like, okay, he's landing ground and pound, making sure the round is his definitively. And then last second of round one, he lands the most disgusting, hellacious elbow I've ever seen right on Paul Craig's temple. It sounded like a rock being slammed against another rock. And Paul Craig was completely out cold. Like, Bukowskis lands that elbow. The final, like, the round ends. You hear the bell. Bukowskis gets up, goes back to his corner, and Paul Craig is still laid out cold. A few minutes later, they're still telling Paul Craig, but buddy, you just got knocked out. As he's asking, yo, where am I? Where am I? What happened? Like, Bukowskis, that was a nasty, nasty, nasty KO. And it was one of the craziest things. You don't normally see a fight get called off at the end of the round when there's going back to the corners. But Paul Craig literally could not get up. He had no clue where he was. That was a disgusting elbow. And then on to the co-main event and main event. I mean, I guess I'll recap them. I guess. Benoit Saint-Denis colonizes Mauricio Hoofy. That was rough to watch. Like, Hoofy had moments where he looked good on the ground, but even if Hoofy won that fight, it was one of those performances where, oh, he's never gonna be like anything at the top of the weight class. And I'm like, it sucks, man. We finally get something fun. We finally have that fun dude around in Mauricio Hoofy, and he just gets generational aura debt. Like, he can't get his aura back. At least Carlos Prates, when he lost to like Ian Gary, had Ian Gary on his hands and knees crawling away. Benoit didn't have that moment of being too disadvantaged in this fight. He got reversed a couple times, but Hoofy lacks ground offense, and it's very evident. Like, he'd reverse Benoit being half guard with a knee just ready to slide over and take full mount, and he just wouldn't do it. He just let him up. I'm like, dude, you know how good a position you're in? Just beat him up and sub him. You know the aura he would have gotten if he just ground and pound KO'd Benoit, or while Benoit tries to get up, takes his back and subs him. Very easy to do because most of Benoit's grappling game is strength-based and not technique-based. And Hoofy is a guy who prides himself off technique. I thought he'd be good in these positions. I was very, very wrong. And unfortunately, our Ninja Turtle Donatello has fallen. In the main event, we had Nasruddin Imavov versus Cal Boralho. The commentary was so biased in this fight. My God. They were giving... I shit you not, they give Nasruddin credit for throwing nothing for 90 seconds straight. Nasruddin would just be standing there. Cal Boralho would land 5 significant strikes. But because Nasruddin's moving forward, they just gave it to him. Like, the 50-45, 49-46 is crazy scorecards. 49-46 isn't that crazy, but 50-45 definitely is. I personally thought Cal Boralho clearly as day won rounds 1 and 3. 2-4-5 for Nasruddin, not mad. 1 and 3. Boralho. Stop giving Nasruddin credit for not doing anything. They're giving him credit for getting doubled on the feet. He's not throwing anything, and they're just giving him credit for it. I'm watching the commentary glaze Nasruddin about like how good his striking's looking and all that stuff, and he's not throwing anything. he gets doubled on the feet in round one. I'm not joking. He gets doubled on the feet in round one. But I guess because he was moving forward, they gave him round one. Round two, clear Nasruddin round. Very close competitive round, but Nasruddin landed more. I get it. Round three was very close. And another thing, this fight, in my opinion, should have been a draw specifically because Nasruddin should have had a point taken away from him. How many times are you going to foul somebody? I get Boralho fouled him once, but Nasruddin fouled him like 2 or 3 times. And this isn't just a this fight thing. Nasruddin fouls somebody every fight. He's always getting eye pokes. He's always getting groin shots. He's always doing this stuff. It's like no one is stopping him from doing it. Take points from this dude. He's always doing this. Before he KOs Adesanya, great win. But before he KOs Adesanya, he's getting schooled and then just eye pokes him. But I gotta give Nasruddin his credit. He fleeced Kyle Boralho. Nasruddin Imavov was supposed to be the short notice backup replacement for UFC 319. Boralho jumped on the opportunity, and Boralho's a big dude. He gets very, very fluffy outside of camp. And he has a huge, huge weight cut. And having to make that cut twice in like 4 weeks, I think that low-key negatively affected his performance. But I think Nasruddin would have won anyway. He was just way, way fast. Like, Boralho could not keep up with the speed. Could not handle the speed. But maybe if he wasn't potentially weight drained from the double cut, he would have had more in him to feint more and move laterally more and more and shoot more takedowns. It's like he only shot 4 or 5. So, Boralho didn't look the best. He didn't look terrible. He looked like a top 10 guy. He looked like he beat the brakes off of Roman Dolidze. He looked like he destroyed Brendan Allen. But he didn't look like, he's going to beat Khamzat Chimaev. So Nasruddin wins the fight. And Leonardo's fallen. Raphael's fallen. Donatello's fallen. Leonardo's fallen. As far as the fighting orders go, we only have Jean Silva left. We need Jean Silva to turn into the last Ronin on Saturday and flatline Diego Lopez. Or the fighting nerds hype is gone. Gone. But, no, I think both of these guys are going to bounce back. The UFC are going to give Rufi a layup. Might even give him Michael Chandler. They're going to give him a layup. Boralho's probably going to get like Brendan Allen or something like that. Both of those are winnable fights. They'll be right back. And it's going to be like they never lost. And let's just not bring up the fact that they both got colonized in France. Hate seeing that stuff. Hate seeing Benoit the war criminal Saint-Denis. Hate seeing Nasruddin the French Dagestani I only fight dirty get wins. It is what it is. Nasruddin's clearly the #1 contender. He should get the next title shot. Regardless of what happens between Fluffy and RDR. The winner of Fluffy and RDR can fight Drickus. And Boralho's going to have to start looking down the rankings. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on that bell notification so you always get notified when I post. Sad, sad day.